You know, so many of us have those special silver pieces, right? Maybe it's a set of candlesticks from your grandmother or that antique locket you found that you just love. We all want to keep them looking amazing. But what if I told you that the way we've all been taught to care for them is, well, kind of wrong? Let's get into it.
So let's just start with a big, almost wild question. Is our obsession with keeping silver shiny actually slowly destroying the very things we're trying to protect? I know, it sounds completely backward, but stick with me because that's the whole idea we're going to unpack today.
And come on, let's be real. Who doesn't love that brilliant mirror-like flash of perfectly polished silver? There's just something so satisfying about it. You take a dull, tarnished piece and you make it gleam again. It feels clean, it feels proper, it just feels like what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, this idea is practically baked into us. Brighter is always better. That's the end goal, right? Make it shine. But today, we're going to put a huge question mark next to that idea, especially when we're talking about pieces that have some real history and value.
This brings us to let's call it the dark side of that shiny finish. Turns out our best intentions, all that diligent polishing, might be causing slow, steady, and totally irreversible damage. So, you're probably wondering, how on earth is that happening?
Well, here's the secret. Most silver polishes you buy are what we call abrasive. That means they're filled with tiny, gritty particles. Their job isn't to wash away the tarnish, but to literally scrape it off. Think about it less like washing your dishes and more like using super, super fine sandpaper on your family heirlooms. Yikes! And that's the absolute crucial point. Every single time you polish, you are physically stripping away a microscopic layer of the actual silver. And once it's gone forever. Now, you might not notice it once or twice, but over years, decades of polishing, those tiny layers really add up.
And you can see the result right here, plain as day. Look on the left. That's the original, with sharp, crisp engravings and clear maker's marks. Now look at the right, after years of polishing. Everything gets soft, blurry, and indistinct. Those beautiful details that give the piece its character, they're literally being worn down to nothing.
And listen, this isn't just about how it looks. This is about actual monetary value. For antique collectors, those sharp details and clear hallmarks are everything. Over-polishing can wipe away so much of that history that it can slash an antique's value by as much as half. I mean, 50%. That is a staggering loss.
Okay, so if scrubbing away with polish is the enemy, what are we supposed to do? Well, it's all about a massive shift in how we think, about learning to see the surface of silver in a whole new light, and appreciating something called patina.
This right here is the absolute key to everything. Let's break it down. Tarnish, on the left, that's the ugly stuff. It's that dull, black, or yellowish film caused by a chemical reaction. We don't want that. But patina, on the right, that's totally different. It's that beautiful, soft, lustrous sheen that builds up in the low spots over decades of age and gentle use. It actually adds depth and character. One is grime, the other is history.
So, how do we take all this and build it into a new, much smarter way to care for our silver? It's about shifting our goal away from that blinding mirror-like shine and moving toward a focus on preserving the object's integrity, preserving its unique story.
So here's the new game plan. It's simple. First, just stop and look. Is it actual dirt, heavy tarnish, or that lovely patina? Always, and I mean always, start with the gentlest method first. Just mild soap and warm water. A lot of the time, that's all it needs. Only polish when you absolutely have to. And if you do, try to find a non-abrasive formula. And maybe most importantly, learn to love that patina. It's not a flaw. It's the beautiful mark of a life well lived.
All right, so let's just quickly recap the big ideas here. Number 1, polishing isn't just cleaning, it's removing metal. Number 2, know the difference. Patina is good, it's history. Tarnish is bad. Always start with the gentlest method possible, just soap and water. And because of that, polish as rarely as you can to save the details and the value. And finally, just remember that your silver story is literally written on its surface.
So, the next time you pick up one of your silver pieces, I want you to try something. Don't just see the shine or the lack of it. Look closer. Look at the soft sheen in the little crevices, the worn spots, and just ask yourself, what story does this object tell? And what can I do to help preserve it for the future?